just starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. And for the first time, we get a look at the veteran Russell Wilson as he gets set to lead yet again this Seattle Seahawks offense.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. On first down, Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Now Wilson on first down. Buying time to his... And right away, he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. Now they have possession. They have it at the 38-yard line. First one now of Aaron Rodgers in his 17th season now with the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, coming off a great 2020 where he took home the MVP trophy.
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They'll run with a big back, A.J. Dillon. And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Looking for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers on just 2 plays have taken the lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So for this defense, a tall order ahead trying to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents, because he feels pretty...
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Zadarius Smith in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
On second down, here's Penny. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. This defense for the Packers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Now Cobb to return. Shelling through the defense. A 55-yard punt that time with a return of about 14. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
And here's Jones again on second down. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
That's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
To throw is Rodgers. Caught by Cobb. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just...
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a pickup of of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Of course, he's coming off that NFC offensive. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. But just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Crosby with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Here we go.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
He'll get this out wide to Penny. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Personal foul. Don't walk out here, man.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. After the penalty, it's Penny. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Penny, the first down carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Here's Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense. It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
Penny. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Penny will try to punch it in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Will Disley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. On the return, it's Taylor. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Packers now to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Fighting through pressure. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well. And
deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Second down, another shot for Jones. Dropped at the 35, so able to display his strength, but not much room to operate. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there. And he did a lot of that on that play.
He hits Adams complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And that is no good. He pulled it just a bit, just a wee bit wide left. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute. But first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Chargers who have the lead with that game getting close to halftime. Mike Williams, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head to the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado. to check in on the Broncos. And they trail the visiting Eagles at halftime. The Eagles.
We now proceed to the start of the second half.
These two teams going through their final adjustments. It's about time for the second half in Green Bay. So for the call, we go back up to Lambeau and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cobb. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there is they were able to connect.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 75 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Rodgers now on first down. It's caught here by Adams. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
A giant hole up the middle, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll try again with Jones. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
A check down here to Jones. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
The kick by Crosby is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. Now their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
On 1st down, Wilson. That'll be caught at Steven Sims. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Throwing is Wilson. Leaves it for Penny. Not much there, only a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that one.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line.
What's the deal, y'all?
So that one will be accepted. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny, and he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Seahawks are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is down to a field goal. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return from his end zone, Malik Taylor. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. Tackle that time by Sidney Jones. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 107 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And it's complete to Adams. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That catch good for only a couple.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. To throw is Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
1
And Crosby puts it through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
So that gets him a little bit of breathing room, but not much. And you have to think back to the field goal that he missed earlier. This would be a 2-score game right now if he had converted then.
And if you and I are thinking about it, you know he is as well, because in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I hope I get one more shot in an important spot. He just made that one. He wants one more later to truly make up for the earlier miss.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up second down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Wilson. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Packers get set to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Here's Jones. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 144 yards rushing for him now in this one as he is closing in on 1,800 yards for the year. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Again, it's Jones. He had a great strong move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So Wilson and the Seahawks down 20-14. Just over a minute 40 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Here's Wilson. Pass complete. This is Sims. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the 1st down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have as well as they understand where they are in the field?
Now Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. He's going to let it fly. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Wilson to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And they will take a knee here.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Green Bay, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll be at home next week